All right, welcome back. This one's called Tour of a Yearbook, which there are a lot of yearbook folks out there, yearbook advisors and students and so on that, yeah, they do a book and maybe they do a nice book, nice pages, but when it comes to the terminology and some of the background about what we're doing, it's like, they don't know. But it's important to know. So hopefully, first off, you watch the Jostens J-class on Yearbook Avenue called Tour of a Yearbook. That was done by my good friend Liz Walsh, who is one of our terrific Jostens CAMs, a creative accounts manager. Liz is a former national award-winning yearbook advisor from Nevada. She has been working with Jostens now as a CAM for a number of years. Her job is to go around, teach, do workshops, offer advice, do critiquing, and that sort of stuff, and she is dynamite at that. So hopefully you took the time to watch her video. If not, maybe stop me here, go back and watch it. I'm not going to begin to review all the things that Liz did in her video. A lot of terms in there, a lot of information in there, but it's the background stuff about what we do. You know, if you're going to work on a project, you really need to know the basic terms and tools and all that sort of stuff, all right? So hopefully you watch this. Let's do a very quick review. She talked about a page ladder. Hopefully you know what that is by now, right? Roadmap of your book, as I like to call it. And a little something called a signature. Now, I think there are some folks out there, they really do think that the way we make a book is like the printer that you have either in your classroom or at home. And the printer just kind of spits out kind of one page at a time. Maybe it's printing on both sides, but it's one page at a time. And then what Jostens does, we just kind of gather up all those pages and somehow cram them into a cover, slap them up with glue, find a way to maybe, sew them together, and suddenly we have a book. That's not how we make a book. That would be crazy if we tried to make a book that way. We'd have pages flying, it'd be nuts. Instead, we have always used what is called a signature. Now, Liz shows this in her video in sort of a miniature version. I'm going to show you the full-size version, all right? This is a full-size 16-page signature. So again, if you look closely at your ladder, you'll notice it's in 16-page groupings. Signature 1, Signature 2, Signature 3 would be pages 33 to 48 of your book, all the way to whatever the end is, all right? Here's how we print your book, all right? I'm going to unfold this here. I want you to imagine, and this is life-size, this is a giant piece of paper running through the printing press at what we call our super facility in Clarksville, Tennessee. Big, giant, as you can tell, this is a huge piece of paper. And if you look very closely, and from Liz's example, there are 8 page numbers on here. And you may notice they're not all 1 through 8, and it's not all right side up. They're kind of jumbled around, upside down, all over the place. Each 8-page segment here is called either a multiple or a flat. Now, if I turn the page over, giant piece of paper, there's 8 more pages. Once again, not in order, not all right side up. They're all different pages. And this is also a multiple or a flat. So 8 pages and a multiple or a flat. And then what we do is what I've always called the foldy trick. All right, so you've got this giant piece of paper with the pages printed like this. And so then we fold it once, and then we fold it twice, and then we fold it a third time. And now we have our signature. And eventually what we do is we have these giant cutters. They kind of trim the paper. And then what you can do here, this is a little tough to see here, but this isn't trimmed. You've got page 1. Inside there we have 2 and 3. Here we have 4 and 5. The pages are magically in order. Amazing. All right. That's how we print a book. Next time you have your book, maybe you have one handy right now. Take a really close look at the binding of the book, like right on the binding. And what you'll notice is it's nothing but a bunch of 16-page signatures sewn together with a giant sewing machine. And then of course we get very durable glue in there, and we put that inside your cover. That is pretty much how we make a book. The end sheets are in there too. The end sheets, remember, that's when you open the cover, that's probably maybe where you sign your little messages and signatures and stuff like that, all right? Front end sheet, back end sheet. The end sheet actually has a job, and it's not to write on necessarily. The end sheet helps to hold the sewed book to the cover. And you put all those things together and you have a cool, durable book. But I want you to remember this signature idea, because the bottom line, guys, is our terrific press operators at our super facility can't do anything until all 16 pages of a signature come in. All right, we've got amazing presses. They can print on both sides of the piece of paper at the same time. In the old days, that wasn't possible. You had to print only one side at a time. Then you would have to wait for it to dry. Then you would have to flip it over, and then you'd pass it through again to print the other 8 pages. It worked. Very time consuming. With the great presses and materials that we have today, whoosh goes through one time, but still we can't print anything until the whole signature comes in. And we'll touch on that here in just a little bit. Liz talked about a double page spread, a DPS. That's facing pages of your book. When you turn in pages eventually, yes, we really want to see facing pages in a book. She talks about the gutter. All right, the gutter is this area in the middle right here. Now, it's kind of cool to do page designs where there's an image going across the gutter. But if you pick up a book and you open it, look what happens with the gutter. The gutter kind of has the pages coming in like this. If you put an image in there with a face, and the face is right in the gutter, you're going to lose the face, which is going to make somebody not happy. All right, so be careful if you do page designs with something going across the gutter. Make sure something important is not sitting in that gutter space. That's not a good book. And Liz talks about a lot of other things in her video. Talks about how a book is organized, you know, chronological, traditional, all that sort of stuff. Please, if you didn't watch the video, give it a view. She has some really good stuff there. And she talks about things called picas and points. All right, printers are weird birds, I guess. They don't use inches. They don't use centimeters. They've always used picas and points. The thing to remember, and Liz had it in her video, a pica, 6 picas to an inch. A point, there are 12 points to a pica. Now with points, we're normally talking about text size. All right, what is the size of our text? We don't do it in inches, we do it in points. So if you have 72 point type, that's an inch high. That's really big. All right, so you think about your captions and body copy, that might be 10 point type, 12 point type, maybe 14 point type. That's what points mean. 12 points to a pica, 72 points in an inch. All right, now let's do a quick student activity here. All right, I'm going to take myself off the screen for just a couple of minutes. I want you maybe look at your page ladder. Maybe you have one on the wall, or you're looking at one on Yearbook Avenue. And the simple question is, all right, these 16-page signature groupings, what can you have done first? What can you have done second? In other words, when can you complete an entire 16-page grouping? Now, that depends a lot on how your book is organized right now. Advisors, of course, I assume you know your page deadlines with Jostens, all right? You've got all that stuff. Maybe do we need to somehow change some things on the ladder? Because whenever we can complete a 16-page signature, guys, that is a good thing. So let's identify that now. We're only going to go for about a minute and a half. Take a look at your page ladder right now. Are you satisfied with where things are right now? Or maybe at this point, need to do some shifting kind of here and there. All right, think about that. Ready, set, go. Okay guys, let me jump back in real quick as a wrap up. Then you can continue looking at your ladder and thinking about your planning. Once again, 16-page signatures, really important. You could turn in 15 of the 16 pages. And if the 16th page somehow is still sitting out there, our press folks can't do anything. They're waiting for that last one to come in. So whenever we can complete those, that's great. Let's do some basic planning here. Fall stuff. That could be sports, homecoming, Spirit Week, all the things that happen in the fall. They're all done, absolutely done by Thanksgiving, unless you have a team in a state championship or something. Let's make it a goal. Fall stuff done by December 1st. Winter stuff, sports, all those activities done by March 15th. Spring stuff, all the things that happen, you know, if it's a supplement or your book, all the way through graduation, done right after school is out. For you summer delivery books, don't let that drag into the summer when you want to go to the beach or go to the mountains or go do some fun. All right, don't do that. Get the book done right after school is out. That is the ultimate recipe for success. And finally, if you need help with your planning, contact your Jostens representative. We're the experts. Let us help you work your plan to make sure that everything gets done and happens when it needs to happen. Really important stuff. Thanks for watching.